Hello! Today's topic is pronouns. Now, before we begin, I would like to tell you that we are not going to discuss all the pronouns, but a particular variety, which is the reflexive pronoun and emphatic pronoun. And I'll also tell you the difference between the two. So, to begin with, the obvious question is, what are pronouns? A word that is used instead of a noun or noun phrase, like I, you, he, them, it, mine, etc. Pronouns refer to a noun that has already been mentioned, like Rahul listened carefully. So we will write, he answered all the questions correctly, instead of Rahul answered all the questions correctly. So instead of Rahul, he. So a pronoun will be used to refer to a noun that does not need to be named specifically, like this, that, which, who, etc. Clear? How many types of pronouns are there? I'm listing 8 varieties, but there are more than this. These are the main, like personal pronouns. I'll not repeat pronoun every time. Personal, possessive, relative, reflexive, intensive, indefinite, demonstrative, interrogative. The reflexive pronoun is again of 2 types, as I told. One is a reflective variety and the other gives emphasis. There's a very simple rule for reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are formed by the addition of the suffix self, singular, and selves, plural, to the simple pronouns. Let's see some examples. The simple pronouns are my, your, her, him, it, them, our, etc. So with my, just add a self. It becomes myself. Your plus self, yourself. Our plus self, ourselves. Them plus selves, themselves. It plus self, itself. So if it is plural, we add selves. And if it is singular, one person, one thing, one object, self. That's it. Please see this table carefully and note how the pronouns change subject, object, and in reflexive. Here I have shown one example each for the first person, second person, and third person in case of both singular and plural. You can find more such examples for yourself as you practice. The reflexive or the emphatic pronouns both have self, self, or selves, selves, at their end. So what is the difference? In case of reflexive pronouns, the reflexive pronouns show that the action of the subject reflects upon the doer. The subject and the object of the sentence are the same person. Like I heard myself. The boys hid themselves. She cut herself. So herself is a reflexive pronoun, since the subject, that is the girl's action, which is the cutting, refers back to the doer, the girl only. She herself cut the cake. Now here the scenario changes because herself is an emphatic pronoun. It is emphasizing the subject, the girl, and the effect of cutting is on the cake. So emphatic pronouns are used to emphasize a noun or pronoun. Another example, she herself opened the door. The town itself is not very large. She herself informed me. They themselves saw it. All these words are laying emphasis. There's another interesting point to note. In case of an emphatic pronoun, the pronoun can be removed from the sentence without affecting its core meaning. Kaise? Like, in this example, it says she herself opened the door. It can be changed to she opened the door, means the same. So there is no change in meaning. Whereas, in case of reflexive pronoun, if I remove the pronoun, the sentence wouldn't make complete sense. I hurt myself will become I hurt. So this is not a logical sentence. So do you see the difference now? Don't worry, I have more examples for you. Let's begin with the emphasizing pronouns. Okay, I myself heard this remark. So it's laying stress on myself. I myself heard it. You yourself know better than anyone else. He himself is responsible for this. The house itself is nice, but the garden is small. They themselves arranged a wonderful party. He himself told me this. I finished the job myself. They themselves admitted their mistakes. We ourselves witnessed the accident. Who witnessed? We ourselves. Number 1, she washes her clothes herself. We enjoyed ourselves at the party. The little boy sat by himself. The manager spoke to me himself. Daman likes to talk about himself. Daisy is old enough to look after herself. Here you cannot remove herself. Daisy is old enough to look after. After whom? Herself. So it is reflexive pronoun. Here are some exercises to be done. This is for your practice. You can pause the video and try it for yourself, then match the answers on the screen. I begin with number 1. I fell down and hurt myself. The principal dash gave the orders, herself. You dash started the fight. You yourself started the fight. We enjoyed dash at the picnic. We enjoyed ourselves because it is we, so it will be ourselves at the picnic. They blamed themselves for the mistake. They is there, so it will be themselves. You all should. The dog barked at itself. It is a dog, so itself. In the mirror. Arun told me the story himself. Arun is a boy, so Arun told me the story himself. Hey, we have more examples. Let's try. The boys hid themselves because it is more than one boy. It is boys. So themselves. Rama has hurt himself. Rama, one boy, himself. I myself heard the remark. The prisoner hanged himself. We seldom see ourselves. We ourselves as others see us. We seldom see ourselves as others see us. Town itself is not very large. The town cannot be he or she. It is itself. We saw the Prime Minister himself. We will see to it ourselves. We means more than one. Would you like to evaluate yourself? Read these sentences on the screen and categorize them as emphatic or reflective. I myself heard his remarks. We often deceive ourselves. He himself said so. I myself went to the market and bought it. He himself painted the walls. Raju did it himself. Don't touch that electric wire. You will hurt yourself. I will give myself 5 days to finish that job. John himself was not aware of the plan. The terrorist shot himself. Alice herself told me that she was quitting her job. You must believe me. I myself heard him shout at her. In a nutshell, just remove the pronoun from the sentence. If it still makes sense, the pronoun was emphatic. If it doesn't, it was reflexive. Study the following example. He killed himself. Remove the pronoun himself and you will get he killed. Does it make complete sense? No, it doesn't. So, the pronoun was reflexive. Now consider another example. Sophie herself told me that she was going abroad. Remove the pronoun herself from the sentence. Does the sentence still make sense? Yes, it does. So the pronoun was emphatic.